Hey everyone, I'm Artosis, and I am back with another replay to cast, and, well, they ruined it before I could introduce them. It is EmpireKas, quite a good Terran player from the European server, going up against mouzMaNa. And Mana, of course, I'm having kind of a little man crush on the way that Mana actually plays Protoss versus Terran. It's quite awesome. If you didn't check out his games versus Servyoa, definitely give those a look-see. Really fun games. And this is from the Go 4 SC2 Cup, and this is really deep into it, because this is actually a best of 5. So I'm going to be having up to 5 games of this series as I go through and watch the replays. So we will see. This is game number 1. It is Xel'Naga Caverns. Up here we have mouzMaNa. Down here we have EmpireKas. And well, I don't know a lot about Empire. I know obviously Empire is a team, and he's on it. But Mana, of course, this guy was quite popular in StarCraft 1. Not a very top level player, but definitely a very good player, a contender in some tournaments. And being from Poland and so young, it's quite impressive because they had such a great scene. Now a member of mouseSports, a great sponsor team in Europe. They have players like Maro and Mana on him. And of course, very famous Counter-Strike teams from the past. So pretty excited about this game, see what's going on. Mana with a pretty standard opening here. Kas so far looks like he may not go for gas. We may just see a 1 barracks expansion, and Mana has some pretty cool builds to counter this with, so I am looking forward to that. Sorry about the hit point bars always being on. I'm trying to figure out which way to do best with that. But apparently toggling them doesn't work because I have them on always, because that's how I play the game. Anyways, so mouzMaNa is going to scout no gases. He's going to know basically what's going on. There could be a proxy racks out there, but it's, you know, this barracks you'd think would be a little bit closer up now. Kas going to go ahead, get his command center in his main base very carefully. Mana getting that second gas quite quickly, as well as the cybernetics core. And I think what we're going to see Mana do here is get a quick robotics, because he seems to like that against this build. I've seen it before, and it's pretty cool. He plays it a lot like a StarCraft 1 opening, you know, 2 gateway observer, and it's quite a safe opening. I like it because it scouts so much, but we'll have to see. Not going to probably see until he gets his SCV out of here, which looks like it's going to happen really quick. Bam! Hits it once, and very few hit points left on that SCV. Little micro battles going on here to see if he can catch it. And the SV does go. It can't really get back up that ramp with the Zealot there. So now Mana's going to be free to do whatever he wants. Let's see what it is. It is going to be a... well, maybe not. There it is. Robo going up. Doesn't want it down here. Doesn't want for Marines and Marauders to randomly kill it. So, goes ahead, makes that, and I think we're definitely going to see some observers out of that to check out exactly what Kas is doing. The Kas playing a very safe game so far, getting those double gases up, and that is why he did not build his command center down here. You might be thinking, well, why not just expand faster? You do that when you're just going to rely on a lot of Marines and Marauders. But notice the very fast double gas, the very much slower second racks, and there you go. He is going to tech up, and thus he has to play a lot safer, so smart moves there by Kas. Second gateway going up for Mana because, well, 1 gateway just is never enough. And the robotics facility, so a lot of gas piling up so he can make some observers. There we go. Gonna chrono boost that out and give him superior scouting. And this SCV is still alive, still kicking. Looks like he wants to scout all over the place. Oh, he's even gonna try to get back in the main base. That SCV is not long for this world. Alright, we have a second bunker going up. Because, you know, you got to be careful. He scouted that there was no gases taken, so he might, you know, a lot of Protosses will counter that by doing a very strong attack up at the front and trying to kill you. So this is going to be a great counter to that if Mana was doing something like that. But Mana instead going to go ahead and expand right after this first observer pops open. And a second observer on the way as well to block any silly Banshee play or anything like that. I love the 2 observer, by the way. It's just so strong. It's going to give him a ton of information. And if he scouts perfectly what his opponent's doing, he should be able to counter it. So That is the way mouzMaNa plays, and I love it because that is how everyone should start playing. That is StarCraft 1 style, and it is awesome. Alright, so we have the 2 command centers up, 2 orbitals. Siege tanks being made, quite interesting. So it looks like we may see a siege tank-centric play here by Cass, with Marines and Marauders, of course, as well, but siege tank being perhaps the backbone of his army. In the meantime, mouzMaNa, I love it. Look at this, 3 gateways, and where is that building? There it is. Twilight Council going up. He's going to tech up 2 High Templars, it looks like. He's scouted all these barracks, and, well, with siege tanks coming out as well, of course, Charge Zealot's going to be Xing against that and a scan to kill the Observer. That's okay, though, because mouzMaNa does have another Observer somewhere. Where is it, mouzMaNa? Where'd you put it? I know it's here. You're making me look dumb. There it is! Alright, so he no longer needs it near his mineral line. He knows there's not Banshees coming, can send it down. Little bit of harassment here. Those are obviously not going to be able to do much damage against this many Marines and tanks. And mouzMaNa runs away before taking any serious damage. Now let's take a look at our supplies. Terran in the lead with 63 against 59. And if we take a look at the unit counting station, 40 probes against 37 SCVs. So Cass has actually been building SCVs quite well. But mouzMaNa, of course, charging some out, staying ahead just slightly on that. Let's take a look-see. Templar Archives. Ooh, I like where he's warping in these units down here. By having the units there, it will be a lot harder for a Terran to scout them. If he just scans, you won't see what the unit composition is. And if he sees it's mostly this, he might be like, oh, this is a good timing to attack. But, you know, making a lot of Zealots and having these sentries out pretty early, they have enough energy to really help hold off any attacks that come. And when he actually does start getting the High Templars, he's going to have Zealots to work with that as well. Because, well, he needs to save gas for High Templars. Look at that, just warping one in right away, getting that Psy Storm upgrade, getting his gas at his expansion. Takes up so much gas to make High Templars. But once you get them out, oh man, are they ever good. Now we see concussive shells in the way, and ooh, big mistake here from Cass, blindly getting Vikings. He has seen the Observers, so he's like, well, I guess that what I'm going to have to do is make Vikings, because obviously you're going to go Colossus. That's what everyone does. But in fact, mouzMaNa is not. He's warping everything down here. His tech is in the bottom of his base, so scans have not really hit it. Let's take a look to make sure. And yeah, he has no idea. This is Cass's view right here. Has no idea about this tech. So he's actually going to have this army that's a Colossus killing army. Siege tanks and Vikings. That is absolutely deadly against Colossus. Siege mode even starting up now as he's getting ready to move out. And in fact, a lot of Marauders, 3 barracks with tech labs. So really right now, and I love this by the way, mouzMaNa just poking around with those, keeping an eye on everything. But anyways, Cass is just kind of blindly assuming that mouzMaNa is going for Colossus, when in fact mouzMaNa is doing something that's going to completely wreck that, which is these speed Zealots. They are going to charge in and destroy those tanks so hard. Even getting Kadarin Amulet, and that's going to allow for so many High Templars to just warp in with enough energy to Psystorm everything to death. And when this first attack comes out, this might actually just end the game if he actually attacks in with this, because mouzMaNa's army is just such a perfect counter to this that Vikings do absolutely nothing. Like, one Zealot will kill like 400 Vikings. And then, of course, everything else with his ults charging up and Psystorms as well. Not going to look good for Cass, but he's just going to set up here with his anti-Colossus army, make his command center, take that base pretty quickly. And once that gets a planetary, he's going to be pretty safe and pretty well off. But until then, there is going to be a cute little attack timing for mouzMaNa that he might be able to do a lot of damage with. So we see more and more barracks going up for Cass, still making Vikings, so he hasn't seen a Colossus, hasn't scouted for one yet, just assuming it, and that is never good. You got to scout. Or things like this can happen. Now we do see a medevac drop on the way. He's going to see mouzMaNa taking a very funny extra base here, but his units are right nearby, so when those Marauders do drop out, I'm sure he's going to drop them right here to try to kill this, but here comes mouzMaNa's army, and he is going to be surprised when we see these Zealots charge up here, and bam, charge in they do, and it looks like he may be able to kill this medevac, especially if he uses a feedback. Decides not to, and, well, the Marauders do get out of there, but right now Cass has to be like, uh-ohs, look at this, I have all these Vikings, I have all these siege tanks, and against a bunch of speed Zealots, that's not going to be all that good. Let's take a look at the supplies real quick. 141 against 153. mouzMaNa a little bit behind, but his units are just way better here. Now, let's take a look. Storming as things back up. Notice the Siege Tanks fall almost instantly. And left over is the High Templars to just kill this army. Oh my god, a billion Size Storms. mouzMaNa with so much left over. And Kas is beginning to look a little bit dead here. He may live through this attack, but mouzMaNa has done sick damage, and that army cannot be replaced so easily for Kas. Meanwhile, the army for mouzMaNa not even gone yet. Still got these very important sentries in there. And the High Templars, of course, can be warped back in with Zealots quite easily, quite quickly, because of the upgrades that they do have. And he even kills off, oh my god, look at this supply now. 116 against 71. And tries to force field that ramp to stop stuff from coming down. Zealots with charge, man, they are good. Very good against Marine Marauder. And here come the new High Templars, just warped in. Plenty of energy for Size Storms. And bam, down goes some Size Storms. And it looks like this is going to have to be GG. And there it is, EmpireKas GG's. mouzMaNa goes up 1-0 in this best of 5. Make sure you check out game number 2. Awesome play here by mouzMaNa.